people to chime in? Thank you. Thank you. So this meeting will be recorded. And so for those of you that have not been able to join the last two meetings, the first meeting was meet the candidates. And then the second one was just a Q&A for everyone to join in. And we posed a few questions to all of the candidates. Some were specific to particular positions, and everyone was able to answer. Just some housekeeping tips. We would ask everyone to respond within a 2-minute timeline. Ms. Langston will cover our first half, and Ms. Naaman will cover our second half. For those of you that I have not had the pleasure to meet or speak with on the line, my name is Tremira Simmons. I'm a class of 1992, electrical engineering, and I am your nominations chair for the Prairie View National Alumni Association Committee. We have Raymond Holly, who also serves on the chair. He is also on the call that will assist with taking questions from the chat. There were questions that were posed to the email address. We will address those questions and have the candidates to answer those questions. For those of you that are on the line that do have specific questions, particularly for the treasurer, we will ask that you go ahead and put those questions in the chat, as she will not be available at the 8 o'clock hour. So those questions that's posed to the treasurer for the National Alumni Association, if you have any questions, we will ask that you pose those in the chat, and we will get those questions answered for you from the treasurer. And so we will get started. During the first call, our candidate for financial secretary was not able to join us, so we will have him to speak first, and then we will proceed with our Q&A. But first, House keeping tips instead of rules is the election committee. So I have on the screen the election committee election voting options. If you have not received this email and you are a financial member of the National Alumni Association, you need to email. There's an email at the bottom of the page, pvunaa@pvualumni.org. You must email your contact information so that you can receive this information. There's a QR code, but also there's a link where you can click on to receive information for you to input regarding the election committee. The election is head by Thaddeus Gamble, who's the election chair. So after May 31st, the nominations committee will turn over everything that we have over to the election committee, and the election committee will proceed with their information. I do see Thaddeus Gamble on the line. So Thaddeus, I will turn it over to you if you have any questions, comments with regards to the election committee.
Thank you,
I know
Tremaya.
I put you on the spot, but Prairie View people are always ready.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to stay ready, so we don't have to get ready. Well, but thank you, Tremaya, and I do have to congratulate you and your team on a excellent precursor to the election with the slate of officers, running through the process and getting everyone with the ability to speak, to ask questions, and become more engaged with the particular individuals that are running. So very good job there. And we will begin elections. Will start on June the 12th. We will send out the ballots, both mail and electronic. The voting will end on June the 22nd at 11:59. That provides us with almost 2 weeks for the votes to come in so we can tally them. ballots will be actually mailed out on the 9th for the information that for those persons that have been confirmed that actually want a mail ballot. So that gives ample time for those individuals to return those back to us so that we can have a election with the information that's been provided us so we can get the votes tallied and counted by the bylaws so that we have a new slate of officers ready for the July timeframe. If there's any person that does have any questions, because the email has been sent out, so if you did not get one and you do have an email, please look at this information, and the email that you replied to is listed there, and then we will respond back to you immediately. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Please do.
I tried to fill out the form and send it back, but they have on there that your email is a required field. That's a problem because if you don't have an email, it wouldn't go. The
How
form would
did you?
not.
Okay. Did you get the email?
I got the email.
Okay.
I fill out the form. I did not put an email address. I said I want it by in the U.S. postal mail, and the email address is a required field. Some people do not have email, so that should not be a required field. And because I did not put the email there, the form would not go.
Okay. So,
I will resend it out and I will give you a fake email address to put in so you can make it go through. But the way that form works, I have to have it because we're also trying to capture, regardless if you want it paper, I still need to make sure I have the correct email address. And some people was changing email address. So the option is for you to select. That's why they two different questions. But I will resend it out and put a fake email address in there. So that's you can add that to that field so it can go through.
Let me just add the when I look at what was sent out, that is it is accurate the way it is because the instructions for getting a ballot or email getting a ballot or email is at the top. So when you check either one of those, no matter what you yeah, like she said, she wanted to track the email addresses. That means you will still get your paper ballot because you've already indicated at the top. It's just that they're requiring the email address to be sure that they got a correct email address that the person wants. But
that's
and that's
correct, Freddie.
yes. So when I looked at it at first, I thought about the same thing, but no. Once you click on, do you want your ballot by email or do you want your ballot by mail? That is the controlling point. So the email is just to collect the data. That's basically what they're doing, asking for data.
Okay, I clicked I want it by mail, and
Yes.
then I submit it, and it would not go. It says email address is a required field. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it is a required field because they're trying to update the email addresses. That does not negate the fact that you will not get your mail-in ballot because you already indicated it above.
But let me ask. I'm not going to try to spend too much time on this. But my form, when I tried to submit it, it did not go. So how are you going to know I need it by mail?
Because you would fill out the form. You fill out the rest of the data on the form.
I don't think y'all understand what I'm.
Yeah, I don't.
I filled everything out.
But
I
you need
did
to put
not
the
put the
email
email
address.
address, and
Right.
it would not. It was not. It would not submit.
No, you
Right.
still need to put an
So
email
let me,
address in there.
right. So let me clarify. An email address is a requirement,
Right.
period. It is a requirement. However, and what I've said to people on today, if you do not have an email address,
Okay.
if you do not wish to choose your email address,
Okay.
then what you need to do is mail in your paperwork or
Oh, okay.
scan it in and fill out the form manually.
Okay. Now the concern I have is being answered. Thank you, Tamara.
Okay, but I also will send out the message again and and give you a fake email address to put in that category, so you can go ahead and fill it in and submit it electronically. So
Okay.
I also would go ahead and send that through. But the purpose of that is to uh try to capture if you have an email address, and that's how I'm also capturing that, because we have a new database and I'm getting too many emails getting bounced back. So I'm also trying to capture what people new email address is. So, but I will resend it out with a fake email address so you can still submit it electronically versus paper. So I will resend it out either tonight or definitely first thing in the morning with a fake email address in there.
Or
Right,
not to
but also keep in mind that when you're submitting it electronically, you're submitting it through an email address,
that's
right?
right.
So
Mm-hmm.
so you're still providing an email address.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing to solve that is just
So this is not an election. So again, if you have any questions, I just put that into the chat. If you have any questions, then you can email those questions, whether you want to have your email address or not. You can email those questions to the pvunaa@pvualumni.org.
okay,
But
not to
but
belabor the
but
point.
but the information that's on what I'm showing on the screen, and once you fill that out, all those are prerequisites for you
Uh,
to submit the form.
not to belabor the point, but Ivonda, all you have to do is just remove that restriction on that email part. Just remove that restriction.
But if we're trying to capture when you're sending out to get information, let me just say this. When you're trying to send out mass information electronically, most people will use that through email, not through Facebook. Facebook is another entity. Instagram is another entity. But for the National Alumni Association, it's through email, through constant contact. So yes, we need to have that we need to have that
Well,
information.
well, I agree with you, but if she's gonna send a fake email address, then that that negates the purpose of it.
Well, then maybe put a caveat in there that with this fake email address, you will not receive updated correspondence information. I mean, it's
Let-
simple, people.
This
It's
is Lee.
simple.
Let me do a timeout. I'm the timekeeper. We've went over 2 minutes and we need to get on with the rest of what we're here to do.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Are there any other questions with regards to Thaddeus while he's on the call? Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So next we will have, and let me just put this in presentation mode. So here we will have meet the candidates. So I'll just ask each candidate that's on the call. I'm not seeing all the names. So if you could just briefly state your name and the position that you are applying for through the National Alumni Association. And we'll start with the president, the candidate for president.
Yeah, good evening, Roosevelt Huggins, Prairie A&M University class of 1992. I am running and hopefully will be excited to be, if I'm fortunate to be, the next president of the National Alumni Association. So that's who I am.
Is Erica on the call? Yvonda, you're next.
Hello, my name is Yvonda Lewis. I'm class of 1996. I am your current treasurer, and I would like to this is my first time running, come back and finish out my job as the treasurer for the next 2 years. And I appreciate your vote.
And then Dale Robeson, we'll give you extra more time. This is the first time as you've missed the first two. So we'll give you extra more time to kind of tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Dale Robertson. Graduated from Prairie in 1986. Major in engineering at the time, and went to work industry. First 2 years I worked for electric utility company. Then after that, I went to work for the Department of Defense. Spent about roughly 30 some years so far in the Department of Defense, working currently out at NASA after I transferred. I worked around Texas, started out in Amarillo, Texas, transferred to San Antonio, worked for the Air Force, and spent about 11 years in San Antonio. And then I moved over to transfer over to Dallas, worked in a airplane manufacturing plant for about 10 years. And then after that, I transferred out here to Johnson Space Center. Been out there since 2012. When I moved back here to Houston, I joined the National Alumni. I'm sorry, the National Alumni Association, and been affiliated with the Houston Alumni Chapter. These last 4 years, I've currently the treasurer for the Houston Alumni Chapter. Been a very rewarding of my time being with the Houston Alumni Chapter. I've loved Prairie View very much. Prairie View kind of helped me fulfill my goal in life and have a career. And so now I like giving back by serving my university through the local Houston chapter. Also, I'm a member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I spend a lot of time giving my service with the fraternity, going out, serving the community and with people. So again, that's my spirit, and so I'm hoping, being part of the National Alumni Association, I can continue that spirit of working in, supporting the university through our finance, through our fundraising, through our recruiting, members back into the Alumni Association. So I'm looking forward to giving my time in service. That concludes something about myself.
Righty. Thank you for that, Dale. And then I will ask for all the candidates, if you are speaking, to please show your face. That was one of the feedbacks that I did receive with regards to these sessions, is to share your face as you're speaking. Next, we will have Dr. Alicia Kizzy. If you're able to do so.
Yes, good afternoon. I do apologize for the background noise, but I am Dr. Alicia Kizzy. I am a 1992 and 2000 graduate of Prairie View A&M University. Both of my degrees are in engineering. My undergraduate is in chemical engineering, and my master's is in engineering. I am your candidate running for the office of secretary. I have spent volunteering as the secretary of the Houston chapter for the past 4 years. I am also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I initiated at the Zeta Gamma chapter at Prairie View A&M University. And I am looking forward to working with our alumni, not only on the national level, but also on local levels, to continue to unify our organization, along with supporting the staff, the faculty and administration, as well as the students of Prairie View A&M University. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kizzy. And I know Pamela Holmes, she's not able to be in attendance today, so we'll turn it over to you, Frederick Roberts.
I am Frederick Roberts from the class of 1977 with a bachelor's degree in accounting and computer science and a master's in business administration in 1982. And I consider myself old hat from the fact that I worked at Prairie View A&M University from 1974 to 1996, and then from 2002 to 2011. I served as assistant to the president of the university, and I've been active with the National Alumni Association since I graduated in 1977. I serve as a current parliamentarian, and seek re-election for the position and ask for your vote. I serve as the parliamentarian for the local Alumni Association. Prairie View local chapter here in Prairie View, whereas I've been a member since I graduated. So I've been around, I've seen the changes, and I look forward to providing services to the alumni, going back to some of the things went back in the early years of being involved, is providing information relative to parliamentary procedure from a simple perspective that members will be astute enough to want to participate and not sit on the background. And when the meeting is over, then talk about what should have happened in the meeting. So by giving people techniques on how to use parliamentary procedure to participate in the meeting is one of the goals that I have set for my position this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Mr. Allen will join us at the 8 o'clock hour. And now we'll turn it over to Eureka Funno. She was at the first session, but she wasn't able due to a family emergency. And so we will turn it over to Miss Eureka Funno.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Eureka Fontenot. I am a 1989 graduate from Prairie View, Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. I have worked for the Boeing Company for the Boeing Company for 32 years. I'm currently out at the Johnson Space Center area, well, remotely, but affiliated with the Houston site, the Johnson Space Center site. I am running for the candidate of chaplain. I am an ordained minister from To God Be the Glory Outreach Ministry out of Lamarck, Texas. I am the current president of the Johnson Space Center chapter. I've served for two terms as the president and hope to give that position up this year. And I just want to be a part of the continue to be a part of the executive board for the National Alumni Association. I believe we can do all things through Christ who gives us the strength. So I feel I can cover the chapter and represent you in the matters concerning any spiritual issues that we may have, and also just continue to pray and keep us in a peaceful environment as we do the business of the National Alumni Association and the university. Thank you for your vote.
All righty. Thank you, Eureka. And I will just jump to Erica Wright. For those of you that see, there's a lot of new names on the screen. So Erica Wright, she's the candidate for vice president. She currently serves as the vice president, sorry, of the Prairie View National Alumni Association. She's a member of the Prairie View A&M National Alumni Association Dallas chapter. She's class of 1993 and her major was accounting. That is Miss Erica Wright. And then we have Pamela Baker Holmes. She's a candidate for parliamentarian. She's a member of the Prairie View A&M University National Alumni Association Missouri City chapter. She's class of 1976 in industrial education. And then we have David Allen. He's the candidate for historian. He's a member of the Prairie View National Alumni Association Houston chapter, class of 1978, and his major was business administration. And so we will begin with our first questions that came in from the panels, but we will piggyback on one of the major questions that was asked during the last meeting, and it was in regards to the question was asked, should the National Alumni Association continue with maintaining the home or the house, the office in Prairie View, or should it be sold? The candidates spoke candidly on their views. And let me just make it clear, it was not stated by anyone that the home should be sold. So I will turn it over. I will start with you, Eureka, on your view on whether or not, what is your view as a prospective board member on should the office be kept or sold, or you can just share your thoughts. 2 minutes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I am believe that, God blessed us with the asset to be able to come together and congregate together. And it happens to also be in the Prairie View University venue or in the area. So I feel like we should definitely hold on to that property, and that we could use it to generate income. I was blessed to be able to use it actually recently for my niece's graduation, and it was a great venue. Her aunt that decorated, had so many ideas of things that we could do to really, make it visible to the community and also to the students and the university, and get some very good use and also potential income from that building. So all assets, I believe, should be retained for the NAA. Thanks.
Mr. Frederick, I'll let you respond.
Well, I'm ambivalent about it, but I'll maintain that negative side to myself. I believe that the National Alumni Association ought to maintain the property at this time and look at ways, as Eureka said, and how do we improve it, in addition to making it visible for the community. The way things have worked, when you look at the PWIs, they can violate, they can do all kind of stuff on their campuses, and that's why you find their office is being maintained on the college campus. But at the same time, we have to understand that we exist to support the university. But for me right now, I believe we ought to maintain the property, and look at ways on how we may improve it, because we have a fairly good piece of property there, in terms of being able to host different events. And also it provides some services to the community, because there are a lot of times that persons can't get any or do not have the option of having events on campus. And so by being out there in the community, we're providing a service to the community at this time. And I will continue to support ownership of that property.
Thank you for that, Mr. Frederick. Dale Robeson, we'll let you respond.
Yes, my position, I believe we should continue to own that building. It's a service to not only the National Alumni Association, but also the Prairie A&M University. I foresee in the future we can provide, like renting it out to, some of the fraternities. Like, for instance, I belong to a fraternity it's a Prairie View fraternity, and I propose other fraternities might have we can rent it out in the future for different events. So yeah, I believe that we should hold on to that building and look for ways to find other ways to rent it out and make money, going forward. So yeah, I believe in holding on to it as an asset and finding use for it other than just the National Alumni Association. There are other fraternities and sororities and other groups that it could be rented out in the future. It's just us coming together and planning and discussing that and trying to brainstorm how to make that happen in the future. That's my position.
Okay, Dr. Alicia Kizzy.
Yes, I think we have consensus here.
Did we lose you, Dr. Kizzy?
Stopping the watch until she returns.
Okay, well, we'll jump to Yvonne Lewis.
Yes, I feel we should keep the building. I am one that have already went out there in the fall and started cleaning out the building and trying to get already set up appointment, but it was canceled to get a architect students and get them out there. They was going to charge us $125 to help us redesign the building so it can be more useful space. To do stuff. And my objective also is to buy that Valco gas station in front of the building so we can have more space. Because I grew up in a true believer of land is never going to regrow. So you're never supposed to lose land that you currently had. You're supposed to add to the land that you currently have. So I'm a true believer of that. And that's why I would love for you to elect me as treasurer so we can move forward to expand what we currently have.
Thank you, current treasurer Yvonne Lewis. Roosevelt, I will turn it over to you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say something a little different, and so hopefully, actually, I got a call last week. But what I said before, and I still say today, I'm conflicted on the question, right? And here's the reason I'm conflicted. I was treasurer of the National Alumni Association for 4 consecutive years, and I was the guy writing the checks for $30,000 to the building for a HVAC. $10,000 and $15,000 for holes in the cement, plumbing, security. You just keep naming every 6 months there was something new that was significant, right? So that's the concern I have. On the other reason I'm conflicted, I understand that is a symbol of independence. It could be a symbol of future money. It is a symbol of who we are as NAA, and I know that, and I believe in that, and with the fact that the Texas A&M University system is the governing body of Prairie University, it is good to have a place that's independent in your own. But what I want to say is, like what I've laid out before, I have 4 priorities. And the building is not a priority. What I'm saying, my 4 priorities are: 1, I want to be financially sound, have money, make money, right? Number 2 is we want to grow closer to the university, have a relationship to help them advance their causes. Number 3, grow the alumni experience. And 4, get more money in the hands of students, like so they have scholarship. So
10 seconds.
All right, thank you. My view is, as long as the alumni building does not impact those 4 priorities, then we can stay status quo. If it does start to impact it financially, then we need to look at it, understand what we could do, study it, figure out what is the best avenue for the NAA.
Your time is up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Roosevelt. Did Dr. Alicia jump back on? She is not on.
She sent a text out saying she lost connection.
Okay. Okay, so we can jump back. So going back to what current treasurer has stated with regards to the home and purchasing the on-call. So this is a direct question to all of the candidates. Within the last 2 years, because we know everything has to be financially stable. So within the last 2 years, and I will start with candidate Roosevelt Huggins, how many times, I'm not asking for the amount, but how many times have you personally given to the Prairie View National Alumni Association within the last 2 years? Roosevelt?
Well, that's a good question. But I mean, I'm not a life member, and I've been not been a life member purposely. So I would give to the National Alumni Association as a annual member because I understand that we need recurring funds. So I did that purposely. I've been doing that for 20 years. Just because I came to a meeting years ago, and Dr. Batts was leading the Alumni Association at the time. He said, look, we have these life memberships, and people, at the time, they're $150. People get a life membership, and we never know it again. So I constantly at that time became a part of it. So annual member and just always have done that. Then I've also, when we have events, I put money into events like the homecoming banquet. We had, as a National Alumni Association, we did the Labor Day Gala banquet 2 years ago. I participated in that. if there is a funding source that is asked by the association, I usually participate. So that would be my answer. Oh, and I would say,
Yolanda?
I'm over. Sorry.
I have given I'm a life member. I paid my half price life member dues, but I still give to the organization by like Roosevelt said, I have supported all the banquets in Houston as well as the banquet in Dallas. And I also last year in the fall trying to get more membership drive and get more notice to the house. I did 2 fundraisers, one for the foster care system, well, 2 foster care system programs. And we did the FAMU where we donated items and clothes and stuff back to the students at Prairie View A&M University. And that was a whole day event. And that's what I did with my beautiful time all in the fall. Besides driving up and down from Clear Lake to Prairie View to Sugar Land to make sure the house and everything financially is done with the Alumni Association as we speak now.
Dale?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
So
Could
the
you repeat
question
it?
was, within the last 2 years, not how much, how many times have you given personally, not through your chapter, personally to the Prairie View National Alumni Association?
Okay, other than the fact that, like I said, I don't give to the national because I did buy a life membership, and that was always my long-term goal, was to be a life member. However, I've supported the university through other giving, like, through the I'm a season ticket holder, and as being a life member, I give my season ticket given to the athletic department. I have donated to the athletic department. So it's been somewhat minimal, but I am a believer in that, we should be that I should give to various departments on the Prairie View A&M campus. So my giving has been minimal, but mainly I've been a dedicated season ticket purchase. So through the athletic, because I just believe in some type of fashion of trying to give back. Again, going forward, I like to increase my giving. So, but other than being a life member, you're right. I don't give to the National Alumni Association after that, and I'm not against being a life member because we have the same issue in fraternities. We have life members, and people sometimes stop giving on the local level. So, but again, I just think we have to continue to encourage members and recruit members, and when we recruit people and they have a love for the National Alumni Association and the Prairie A&M University, uh, we can encourage them to give also. So,
10
but yeah, I've
seconds.
been minimal. So that's my conclusion.
All right, thank you, Dale. Eureka?
Hello. Yes. So I have been taught in my from Mark from the JSC chapter and for years that we are to give of our time, talent, and our treasures. And I have done that. At the NAA level, I actually have a recurring, I have an auto draft out of my paycheck every pay period, pay period. They automatically deduct money out of my paycheck and send it to so I have an auto draft that goes to the NAA and also one that goes to the university out of every paycheck. In addition to that, I attend all the functions. Haven't been to Dallas lately, but all of the banquets, the any of the functions. I attended the Bahamas, went to the Bahamas and sold into that convention. So I give of my time, my talent, and my treasures, traveling back and forth. As Yolanda mentioned, back to the university. I volunteer whenever there's opportunity. I've given to the 1901 fund recently, as a matter of fact, in honor of Mark Mark's end of Mark's term, and as well as in honor of Lynn Morris, who initiated the 1901 fund, I encourage my chapter. We're doing a drive to donate to the 1901 fund in their memory. And so I have had some chapter members that have donated as well to the 1901 fund for that. So I do whatever I can. And I also have my daughters. So I made sure that both my daughters are life members. They're Prairie View graduates. Both of them are life members. I paid for
10
that.
seconds.
And my nieces that graduated, I paid for their life membership. So yes.
All righty. Thank you for that, Freddie Roberts. The question is, you have the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
As the old song says, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I unto thee. I've given my time and my talent with little but treasure in the last 2 years, but previously I've given support to Prairie View itself directly. I support the Goodman Players and the radio station. Those are my two organizations that I've continually sponsored, except the radio station in the last 4 years. Well, I say 3 years, I didn't give any money. But as far as the Nationals, this past 2 years, I've not given any money directly to the Nationals, except when they ask for monies for the banquet and things like that. I support those events. And like I said, I started off at silver and gold have I none, but I'm gonna give whatever it is I can.
Righty. Thank you for that. I see Dr. Alicia Kizzy has returned back on the line. So Dr. Kizzy, I'll give you 2 questions. So Mr. Langston will allow her 4 minutes. The first question is your stance on whether selling or maintaining the National Alumni Association house. That will be the first question. And then the second question, within the last 2 years, how much have you, not how much, how often have you given personally to the National Alumni Association?
Okay, thank you. And again, I do apologize. To the first question, yes, I do support maintaining the National Alumni Association house that's there near the campus of Prairie View, A&M University. I believe that as a National Alumni Association, we can pool our resources together to repair the existing structure and have the building put into a position where we can generate income by utilizing it for a venue or allowing other organizations and other entities there in the Waller County community to lease it out and to utilize it for other functions. I think it is located in a great area. And with the growth that we are now beginning to see there in Waller County, specifically between Prairie View and Waller, it would be an asset for us to retain and grow and also show presence there in the community as well as with the university community. To the second question, I have supported the National Alumni Association through various activities, the gala being one, also through other fundraising opportunities that have been presented to us via the local chapter, as well as through communication with the National Alumni Association. And as I've heard the other candidates mention, I too also believe in giving of my time, talent, and treasure, which is one of the reasons and motivating factors that have prompted me to run for the position of secretary of the NAA. Also to continue my giving that I give through other organizations, as well as my time to the university for the benefit of the students, to ensure that as they are matriculating from the university into their careers, specifically in engineering and chemical engineering, making sure that they are prepared and well equipped for their careers in their early years. So I do plan to continue to devote my time, treasure, and talent to the NAA, whether in an officer position or not, because I truly believe in the trajectory as well as the future of Prairie View A&M University. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Dr. Kizzy. Thank you for double taking both of those questions. The next questions are for Eureka and Freddie Roberts. Eureka, we will let you go first, and then Freddie Roberts. As a current previous board member, what has been your greatest regret as a board member of the Prairie View National Alumni Association, JSC, for yourself and Freddie Roberts, current parliamentarian, and as a current board member, what have been your greatest accomplishments? Eureka, you're first. 2 minutes.
Okay, so we'll do accomplishments first. I like to guess be more positive first. Greatest accomplishments I feel like were first of all, I was given an opportunity to chair the first Labor Day Classic Gala, which was a huge success, lots of stress, but with the great team of people, we pulled it off. And I think people were actually looking forward to having it again, but unfortunately, we ran into financial issues as part of the organization. The organization ran into financial issues, so we were not able to just keep it going, but we had hoped that it would be an annual event. So I think that was one of my greatest successes, and also the opportunity to actually attend the first international convention in the Bahamas. That was an awesome experience and a wonderful event. So those are two of the things that I'm happy about and proud of. And then regret just a lot of the I guess there wasn't a lot of peace this past year in the organization. And so I guess one of my regrets would be that I didn't necessarily I didn't step up to be a positive influence, to do something to try to change the spirit or the trajectory of the there's a whole lot of negativity, to the point where I really want to step off the board, to be honest with you. And I do have a positive spirit. I do have the gift of encouragement, and
10 seconds.
Should have. I regret that I didn't do something to offer a more positive spin and give us a better experience on the board.
Freddie Roberts.
I would want to give kudos to Eureka because we seem like we were cut off the same cloth. I would say that one of the most cherished accomplishment, I believe, is getting through those bylaws and constitution and bylaws. I consider that a major achievement, because it's been a while that the constitution and bylaws had gone through a process as we did. And I give thanks to all those members who supported it and participated in it. Also, I would say the major accomplishment I would attach also, what Eureka said, was that banquet, because it came through, even though we didn't have, I thought, a lot of the people who could have supported it didn't, but we did a good job. I wasn't able to go to the Bahamas, but I consider that an accomplishment also, because it was something that I looked forward to happening ever since I graduated from Prairie View. And it took us almost 40 years in order to get our act together in the Bahamas. We're still not there yet, but we'll get there. The negative side, I think, would be typically, well, I'll go back to what Eureka said. I was very disappointed that the board did not step up and challenge some of the things that were going on when we were told that we were not going to have a convention this year, and nobody stood up to it. I was sort of like the Lone Ranger in there when the question was raised, are you going to host it? And then we're told that the board members are not going to host it. So I wouldn't belabor that point, but I think that the board of directors have a responsibility to step up to the plate, to make sure that things go the way they ought to go and not be controlled by one person or some people sitting in the background, not allowing.
10 seconds.
And so that would be it for me.
Okay, and the next question, we will have each of the candidates, I believe some have answered this previously. What is your vision? And we will start with Yvonda Lewis because I know she has to drop off at 8 o'clock. So we will start with Yvonda Lewis. What is your vision for partnering with the city of Prairie View to attract businesses and create opportunities and the long community growth between between the National Alumni Association and the city of Prairie View?
I would love to communicate and partner up with the city of Prairie View. No doubt about it. That would be great options and visibility on everyone's front. It give us visibility of the alumni house, showing people that the house is available for rent and doing different functions, and working with the city to let them know that we're here to support each other and take care of each other. So I'm a big fan of partnershiping with people, because I feel the more you partnership with, the broader span and the area of people you reach out to is greater. So I would love to partner with the city of Prairie View and do a lot of things with them. Thanks.
Yes, Roosevelt, I'll let you respond, and then Yvonda, I'll come back with you with another question before you have to jump off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as a organization in the city, we want to have a partnership with the city of Prairie View. You always uh, look for potential partners to advance our initiatives. So if they want to help us or want to collaborate how to advance our initiatives, we're more than willing. I would be more than willing. I would hope the board would be more than willing to talk with and work with the city of Prairie View. I think it may not, again, I think as a board, we're going to be, hopefully we'll be laser focused on some key initiatives, and then we will communicate that to partners like the city of Prairie View and Waller County, and we want everybody on board. We have a gold mine here at Prairie View. It's about to show the world, and we need to help it show the world. And so that's yes, we should look to find ways to work with the city of Prairie View.
Okay, and Yvonda, I'm gonna give you these last two questions. So the first question, and then we can have the others to chime in. So Yvonda, trying to read this, as the current treasurer, can you share some insight on how much income is being received and how much expenses?
Right now, I think we have brought in over 80,000 of income, and we have spent about 41,000 of that income that have came in so far this year in the NA office. So we roughly I just finished paying some bills, so we roughly right at 39,000 that we currently have in the bank account. We're looking at. That's with the no staff in a office, but that will sort of change next year because we have to put someone in that office. I cannot keep doing that job for free and take care of that workload. So we will be having someone part-time in there starting in the fall. So our expenses will be going up, but as you see in the budget, or extra president for the budget, you see how we only budget to spend only $80,000, and we're sticking with that and what we expended. So realize that we don't have a crazy budget of income of 100 or something. We have a realistic budget of bringing in 80,000, and we're spending accordingly.
Okay, and a question came in, of those expenditures, how much goes towards students?
Right now, we realized before I came in office, no shame to the past administration, we wasn't giving nothing to students, but so far this year we have given out
No,
over,
that's not correct. But go ahead. Sorry.
yes, so far we have given out over 16,000 to students, and we have um, three applications from some students asking for assistance now that I sent out to the finance committee on Tuesday to look into helping them out and everything with stuff. And then we had money coming in with Tremire help from Lily Grove gave us some money to come in to take the foster care kids out for dinner during the Christmas break that they donated to us to give to the foster care kids through that. So
Madam Moderator, her time is up unless you yield and give her more time.
I'm
Okay,
good. I'm good. I appreciate you.
okay. And so, just one last question, Yvonne, the best way to maintain, okay, let me read this. The best way to maintain income, is it through life membership or annual membership?
It's through annual membership because life membership is one time, and we can't, to me, we shouldn't be giving it half price because it's a one-time fee of $800. And that $800 do have to last more than 1 year, realizing that we have 60,000 and the dues annually are $60. So if you multiply that 60 into 800, you're only looking at 12 years of that really covering us and taking care of bills. But I understand we need people like to be life member, but annual is always keeping the doors open and keeping us with a budget, because I can't, realistically, no one can budget with a life member because that's not stable.
Okay, and then you have a couple of questions in the chat. The 40,000 spent so far, has that been since January?
That has been since what's today's date? That's been since May 2020, May 2026.
The next question, you say May?
Yes, this year.
Okay. The next question is, what is the plan to reach out to and engage alumni on an ongoing membership?
Uh my goal, hopefully with more people, we got a lot of people going to the games. That's why I really want to get this house up and running and do open. I did do an open house last year in the fall in September with the uh, uh, drive for the foster care kids to bring money and food, and we had over 30 people come by and drove by with the signs. We had signs and everything that the we had made, and you were surprised by the signs, and people who lived there, they didn't believe that that office was still open. They didn't know that we were still doing stuff, and it was really nice. Eureka showed up, everyone, it was a real good thing. And we also got a membership drive. We had some people from Beaumont, Texas become members, and also was asking how can they start a Beaumont chapter out there. So I thought it was great, and if I can push it more. I got stopped last year, but if that go every home game, that office need to be open. We need to be reaching out to members. And we also have a sign banner that we did have out that we made also to put up around the school so people know to donate or just fill out the information to inquire about becoming a member.
Okay, and then another question, Yvonne, I know you have to go. Do we need to add a maintenance fee to all life memberships to help sustain income?
Yes, I would love to. I got a lot of pushback this year for me even bringing it up. So I held back from bringing it up to the body because we need to stabilize everything else before we bring that up. And I understood that sometimes you got to build yourself up before you can ask, because the main thing, which I agree, people gonna say what you did with the money before. What I haven't seen anything what you done. So we first have to build things up and show people what we're doing before we can go back and ask for money. But that is my goal, hopefully with this new administration and new office, that I can show them what we're doing, because we're going to need some money to buy new carpet, paint the alumni house. I mean, if anybody been in there, it needs carpet, paint, it needs a fresh, and some of the toilets are not flushing right. So we have a little plumbing problem. So we need to do some maintenance of it, but realize you never can lose in real estate if you do it correctly. The goal is to spend and turn around and make money. I am not throwing money down the toilet, flushing it down the toilet. It's to invest and to bring it back.
All right. Thank you, Yvonne. If there are no other questions, Yvonne, we appreciate you. Thank you. Best of luck on your candidacy for treasurer, and we appreciate all that you do.
Thank you very much.
And I see Miss Erica Wright, who has joined us again. Erica is the current vice president, and Erica will give you a moment to just welcome yourself, show your beautiful face, and let everyone know who you are.
Hold on. Can y'all hear me? I'm actually driving. Okay,
Yes.
there we go. Well, good evening. My apologies for being late. I had another function that I had to attend. And again, I am Erica Wright. I am the current VP. I was appointed in May of 2024 to fill the open position. And I am looking to continue preferably in this role so that we can continue to make changes and rebuild the NAA and to see, where we can go from there.
Excellent.
And I'm driving, so I keep looking off.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. So, Erica, we'll ask you, let you piggyback on what Yvonne, the treasurer, has spoke about. Share your opinion or your thoughts on life membership versus annual membership.
As a treasurer, as an accountant, I am all of those things. So I do believe that life membership is good, but I think that the only way that you can bring in recurring money is having the yearly membership. So I think yearly membership is better to do, but I think that if we do life membership and we push that, we need to have what someone mentioned, a maintenance fee or some type of fee that will be yearly, just like in most sororities and fraternities. Although you may be a life member, I know with my sorority, you still pay a small fee annually to national, just to keep, as they call it, per capita. So it's to keep things running at for the organization. So I do believe that yearly is more beneficial because again, you can almost say, you can build a budget. You can build a budget on a yearly for what, last year, say, for example, we may have had 500 people that paid yearly. Then you can kind of build a budget based on hopefully getting those same 500, right? Where life members, once, you build that budget or once they pay, you either going to have to allocate money back year to say, okay, they paid 800. Now this year we're going to transfer 6. Do that every year, which can be a hassle. Or you just say, hey, we're just gonna, pay a maintenance fee. It goes both ways, but I think yearly would be more beneficial at this time. And then maybe with life members, they agree to a maintenance fee, a yearly maintenance fee.
Okay, and I'm gonna back up a little bit and ask you the question that was asked. It was one of the hot topics from the last meeting, and it was reintroduced in this meeting. What is your stance on maintaining the alumni office or selling the alumni office?
I don't think that we need to sell it. I don't think we're in a, this is not, to me, the time to even think about selling it. We can use that office for a lot of things. We can rent it out. It's historical. It's something that we've had for many years, but I don't think this is the right time to look at trying to sell it. I would hate to see us sell it, but I do think that we need to look at ways that we could generate some revenue from it. As far as, like they're renting it out to, if there's some community things that someone needs to rent it out for, if there's, again, organizations on campus that want to meet off campus, there's different things that we can utilize it for, meetings, even if some of the alumni are coming in and they need to have a meeting, but I do not think this is the right time for us to sell it. I think it can be profitable for us in some ways. I do know that there's some things, upkeep that need to be done on it, and there are bills that goes monthly with it. But I think if we budget right, I think if we plan right, then it can be more of a profit than a hindrance.
All right, thank you. That was a question that came in for the president and the vice president. So, Roosevelt, I'll let you answer, then I'll let Erica answer next. The question is, what will you do to ensure that each of the elected officers can function independently without any undue influence? Let me repeat the question. What will you do to ensure that each of the elected officers can function independently without any undue influence?
Well, I mean, first, I think in any group you have to build a team, and so together we will probably meet before we actually, right after we get elected, we'll meet to kind of build that team cohesiveness. But my style is a very collaborative style. While we may individually agree or disagree on certain issues, as a team and as a board, if we vote certain ways, our job is to go and initiate or take care of those initiatives as it was voted. So each person will have a more than a right to speak. We're going to be looking for ideas. I mean, everybody has to bring something to the table. Everybody can contribute. So the way I think, if I'm president, my leadership style is to hear from everybody, and then as a team and collaboratively, we make a decision and go forward. And so I like to build consensus, and with consensus, we make a decision and go forward. I was done, unless you're giving me more time.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I was really done. I'll use the 30 seconds somewhere else, maybe.
All right. And Madam Moderator, I'll take one more. I'll time keep one more, and then we can pass it on.
Okay, I
You're
believe
on,
the question. It's me now. Can y'all
yeah, I
hear
think
me?
it's you. I think Tamara's on mute. She may be talking, but she's on mute. But go ahead, Erica, answer the question.
Okay, so I think effective communication is definitely is what we need to have. I think training. I think an understanding of your role. Everybody have to know their role, and I think meeting more frequently, not necessarily as a board, but as officers, because officers cannot meet the same time the board meets, because now you've had 3 months of no meeting, no communication, not knowing what's going on, right? So I think effective communication, I think more meetings, and I think everybody understanding their role first and making sure that they are doing their role, and then everybody realizing that we are a team, that again, there is no I in team. So if one person is needing help, everybody pitch in to help, but it also goes again to communication. What we don't want is someone saying that everything is falling on one person or two people when we're all here to work as a unit. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And this question will go to the all the panels. And we will start with Dale Robeson. So this is the question that I would like to pose to each of the candidates for the PVAMU National Alumni Association. With all the tension and turmoil that has happened within the last 2 years, in your own words, what is the charter of your position you are running for, and how will you ensure you stay within the charter of that position?
Well, Tamara, I might not know what the chart is, but I would, based on some conversation with you, I know I'm responsible to collect money that comes into the NAA, but as a body, I feel like my position is, like you said, be part of this team. We all have, I believe we all had a spirit of making this National Alumni Association a success, and not to be a problem, but try to be a solution. So I think someone spoke up earlier saying, "Hey, we need to stay positive, because there are going to be times where we might have disagreements, and as we struggle to make the National Alumni Association strong, better, we have a lot of growth. We have a lot of going forward. So again, I feel like my position to be have a spirit of being a part of this team, this body, this this board, this officership. So my position is to bring a positive spirit and a cooperative spirit and work together.
Okay, Dr. Kizzy, is she still on the call? I'll turn it over to you, Dr. Kizzy.
Yes, I'm still here. Can you please repeat the question?
Yes, in your own words, what is the charter of the position you're running for, and how will you ensure that you stay within the charter of the position?
Well, certainly my understanding of the charter for the position I'm running for as secretary is to maintain accurate and current records for the National Alumni Chapter Association, excuse me. And in that means that not only in um, our general meetings, but also in the board meetings that we will participate in, is again to make sure that our records are accurate and are up to date. And anytime that an issue or a question arise regarding a prior discussion from a previous meeting of some sort that needs to be reflected or that the body needs to be reminded of, it is my duty as secretary to read and refer to the document and read the minutes or the document where where the accurate information is presented. So I take that position very seriously. I am very disciplined around record keeping, not only professionally, but also personally. And that is one of the gifts that I have. So quite naturally, I believe that I'm a great fit for the position of secretary for this organization at this time. Thank you.
All right, Erica. I know she's driving. Roosevelt, I'll let you take it.
I'm
Sure.
here.
Oh,
Go ahead, Roosevelt. Let me get in the house. My alarm is gonna
Go ahead,
go
Erica.
off. I come back after you.
Yes, ma'am.
so I guess I'll go now. Since, obviously, I'm running for president. My job is to be the the leader to help guide this organization to conduct the business that the board and the membership wants to do. But I look at it as like, if you're ever seen a mountain climbing team or mountain climbing crew, right? There's a guy that's the trusted leader, supposed to be experienced leader. They help the other team members go up the mountain, but the guide also has to participate in the climbing of the mountain. If he fails, the whole team fails, and every piece of the team, if they fail, the team fails. So the way I look at it is I'm supposed to help lead and guide, but also at the same time making sure all the teammates are meeting their obligations and are able to succeed. So I can't like go on and run up the mountain without them, or so we all have to be together. My job is to build consensus, bring us together, and then focus on the initiatives of the Alumni Association.
Okay, I'll let
Back
you
to you,
catch your breath, Erica, and I'll let Eureka, then Erica.
All right. So in my role as the chaplain, my charter or my responsibility is to handle all things, all the spiritual things that come forward for the Alumni Association. Just using my spiritual background, number one, we're one body, but many members. So therefore we all have a role. And so everybody has a role to play. I realize I need to cover the organization spiritually, prayerfully. For the beginning, there's usually a item on the agenda where I would, cover the meeting, opening and closing of the meeting, but also throughout the meeting. And I've had instances, even not in the role of chaplain, when things kind of got heated, heated in the past. I kind of retreated to my prayer closet silently as I sat there and saw the trajectory of the meeting change, because I truly believe that prayer changes every situation. So I definitely will be on board to pray before, during, and after the meeting. Also outside of meetings, just to keep our organization covered and in a positive light at all times. And I don't know if the chaplain is also responsible for, we had several members that passed away, where you need to send honorariums and reach out, maybe sick members and things like that. I don't know what role covers that, but I kind of felt like that could potentially fall into my realm, but definitely want to be. And also the other thing, and the issue we had, don't think more highly of ourselves than we ought to. I mean, humble, we're a volunteer army, recognizing that everybody is volunteering. I mean, so we're doing this on top of, what we already have going on in our lives. And we have to respect that.
2 minutes.
And not think that we're more than what we are. So I want to be a positive influence to the organization.
Thank you, Eureka. And Miss Erica.
I think my role is to be there for the president, to support and assist the president on their responsibilities, but it's also to make sure that other positions, and mainly committees and things like that, have what they need. They have that support, they have the communication, that if they, because everything cannot fall on the president, right? So you have to have someone that can be that person, to be a voice for the president. And especially even in their absence. But I think it's also to not necessarily oversee, but oversee what our committees are doing, and making sure they have the tools that they need, making sure that everyone, if they need assistance, that they can get assistance. If they're needing help on something, or if they're bringing ideas, that they're heard. So it's more of a role to make sure things are functioning as they should be. That's what I think mainly the VP is. It's mainly to support and to provide.
And Mr. Freddie.
In my role as the parliamentarian, I think, as I stated earlier, providing sessions with members, with the meetings, taking time out to explain to the members what their roles are in terms of how to get the floor, how to make motions and what have you, will make the organization flow better. Also making sure that the president or whoever the presiding officer is astute enough to know how to conduct the meeting and how to how to invite members to participate in the discussions that are necessary. Because there were some situations where members just sat there and just let it go as a rubber stamp on certain things, when there were points where they could have raised issues and did it in a proper way. So I think by providing more of those opportunities for members to learn just the basic parliamentary procedures, and also to encourage their participation. Once the agenda goes out, participate in the, pulling the agenda together. Don't wait until we get to the meeting and then we get into arguments about the bloody agenda, when the agenda should be sent out at least 2 weeks before the meeting to discuss certain issues and what have you. So I think my working closer with the president and the vice president and the secretary and with all the officers to ensure that everything flows the way it ought to flow.
All right. Thank you for that. We have a question in the chat. I will let uh, Roosevelt Huggins and Erica Wright address this. Is there a line item in the NAA budget for maintenance and taxes on the alumni house? I will
Uh,
start with Roosevelt.
yeah, I'm going off my past treasury and my financial secretary report, but I think, yeah, there was a maintenance line item that we can, had as a category. There was a general taxes category that we had as a line item. I think the issue, I'm not the background of the question. The issue was we never could budget the right amount because it's just like every year there was some amount of maintenance costs that was significant. And to balance the budget, we would have had to kind of almost fool ourselves that we were bringing that much income. I mean, it is the house was a key reason why when we raised a lot of money in the in the 2 years prior under the decreased life membership, that a lot of that money is not there right now. But we can budget for it. We can put a estimation. I think there's some things that we can do, but what my biggest issue is, I know I'm probably going off subject, is that, I'd like to see more money going into the students, going to alumni services, like we need servicing our membership than servicing our house. So we just gotta balance it and make it all work, whether it's more events at the house, more funding, maybe we have a separate group help fund the maintenance items, maybe it's a maintenance fee, but we have to do something so that the house does not distract from our core initiatives. And I believe in the years before that, it was distracting from our core initiatives.
2 minutes.
I'm done.
Erica?
Um, from a tax standpoint, I do not believe that we're paying property taxes on the house. But I can be wrong. But I do not think that we're paying property tax. Now, from a maintenance standpoint, prior to Yvonda, I really can't speak on if there was one. I do know now the maintenance has kind of been everything has been broken out. So they've broken out things as far as, just say telephone, utilities, lawn care, things like that. But I think some of the maintenance have just been, hey, if this has come up and we need to get it paid. So I'm not for sure if she has a true line item for maintenance, but I do know going forward for the new budget for starting in September, that she's already talked about, that is one of the line items that we will be incorporating. But keep in mind, when she took over, budgets and things were not really handled in a sense by the treasurer. A lot of this was handled from an aspect of what Miss Irma had put in place as being the administrator for so many years. So, but that is something going forward that I do know will be put in place.
Thank you for that, Erica. And I believe that also addresses the next question. I believe that the PVNAA is a 501c3 exempt, so there should not be any property taxes. And as a previous treasurer, that is correct. However, just mimicking what everybody else has said, it's the maintenance, the upkeep, and a day-to-day expenses, just like in your home. There's also the same expenses with the National Alumni Office. So we're approaching our last question, and the last question is, and this will go to every candidate. So I'm just going to go by who I see on the screen first. So Roosevelt, Mr. Carl Young, can you please mute your phone? Please mute your phone.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. And so the last question for the evening, and this is for President candidate Roosevelt Huggins, and for all the candidates that's on the line. Do you have any direct relationships with personnel on the campus of the university?
Yeah, absolutely. I have relationships with personnel. I mean, I know I have met and conversed with the president of the university multiple times. I know her chief of staff. He was in college at the same time we were. We talk. I know the dean of mechanical engineering because I serve on the mechanical engineering industry advisory board. I know Dr. Obiaman, the dean of engineering. She knows who I am. Dr. Booker. Everybody knows Dr. Booker, who's a treasurer at Prairie View. Her sister is my aunt's. Her sister is my mom's best friend, and so she, every time I walk on campus, if she sees me, I have to talk to Dr. Booker. I know the folks at Alumni Affairs, Phyllis Caldwell, very very well. I mean, look, Prairie View is an institution that I like a family. So there's just if I keep naming people, I'm probably forgetting somebody I don't know. I know the athletic director. We've talked, we've golfed together. You know, so yeah. I mean, if you're asking about, do I know people at the administration and will I be able to from day one have a relationship that can advance the causes of the National Alumni Association? I think that's a yes. I can do that.
Frederick.
Yes, I do know a lot of folk on campus, and the key ones would be the president. There are a lot of new faces on campus as they go along, and I have done everything I can to make myself known to some of them. And so the relationship on campus is not as it used to be, but there's room for improvement, and I'm prepared to deal with all of that when the time comes.
Miss Erica.
Yes, I've actually had one-on-one conversations with University President President Legrand. I've actually was on the panel interviewing Jeff Shaw, the new VP of Development. So I have built that relationship with him. We've had numerous conversations. I am friends with one of the coaches, Vernon Bland. We was actually in school together there. I am build a relationship. I had the privilege of being the speaker for the NAA in December. And so I actually met numerous people that I didn't even know I knew. So some being Carol Campbell, and then I've been friends with Phyllis Cardwell for some time as well. So I know a few people on the campus and constantly building relationships with those I soon to meet.
Dale. You're on mute, Dale.
Yes. I have a preview hired the new head football coach. I met him during the HBCU college fair, and he's a fraternity brother of mine, and him and I have had conversation. I've shared with him I'm part of the National Alumni Association, so my goal is to continue to build a relationship with the head football coach, and I'm a very staunch supporter of the Prairie View football team as a season ticket holder. So yeah, that's my my future endeavor to continue to to nourish and build that relationship with the new Prairie View head football coach, i.e. my fraternity brother.
Rika?
So not personal relationships with people, but attending the convention in the Bahamas, I did have the opportunity to be up close and personal with several of the leaders at the university, the president, well, the head football coach, but well, I guess Anton, Mr. Anton, Coach Anton is still there, but Bubba is not there anymore. And of course, Phyllis worked side by side with him. The president's right hand guy or whatever, like, was at Prairie View when I was there. We know each other by face. I've also worked with Mark Pearson at their office. Mark Pearson and I think his name is Kenyatta. I forgot the other guy that works in his office, but a lot of times when I go out and do recruiting, I have to work with their office to get supplies. So I know that I have their phone numbers in my cell phone. And then I know someone in the College of Architecture, Miss Dr. Oberman. I'm part of the Boeing's employee engagement for Prairie View. We actually have a Thurgood Marshall Scholarship fund that we provide to the engineering and business departments at Prairie View. And so I'm actually on that board for Boeing, where we interface with the engineering department. So I know Dr. O knows me. We know each other when we see each other. So I know some people at the university, and probably definitely not as close as most of you guys. Some of the guys have been, but I do know some people.
Dr. Alicia?
Yes, I am connected and certainly have long-standing relationships with not only faculty, staff, but many of the leaders within administration at the head of some of the colleges there, like the College of Engineering, College of Education, um, both professional as well as personal relationships with them. And again, a lot of those relationships were built through my volunteerism and activism there on the campus, working with students, working with administrators and other leaders and supporting their efforts, whether it was through student recruitment, student engagement, increasing student awareness and their educational pursuits, getting them connected with internships, other types of employment, and even other resources. Certainly through my participation with other organizations such as Epsilon Gamma Iota Incorporated, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and through my serving on the board of the Chemical Engineering Industry Advisory Board. Again, those relationships have been long-standing. I would like to challenge us not only to look at the relationships we have there on the campus, but to grow and extend our relationships with the Texas A&M University system, because there is a shared governance that's in place when we talk about the governance of our university, in that we should be looking at extending and reaching out beyond the campus, so that some of the initiatives and the goals and the dreams that we have for our great university to be able to achieve will take those who are sitting in positions such as on the Texas A&M University system, who may be sitting in a legislative position, et cetera. So those relationships I continue to cultivate, will continue to support, as
2
well as
minutes.
extend. Thank you, Knight. Thank you.
All righty, thank you. And then another, well, actually two more questions. I think there was, oh, no, that's a side message. Has the new budget been approved? Can the proposed budget be viewed? I will let Erica and Roosevelt answer that question. Has the new budget been approved for the NAA, and can the proposed budget be viewed?
The new budget has not been, I'm sorry, Rosa. The new budget has not been approved. She probably hadn't even worked on it yet, but it will be approved at the next board meeting. I believe that board meeting is in August. I believe that's our next board meeting.
So that's when it will be approved at that time. As far as viewing, I'm not for sure what our stipulations are around that. It is viewed by the board because the board does approve it, but it has not been done yet.
Yeah, I think just to add on to Erica, so just the only thing I would add to, our fiscal year is September 1st through August 31st. So what Erica is saying is that our budget will be approved for our next fiscal year, which starts when we take office. So we'll probably, I think Erica, I think we're in agreement. We'll be working on it in the month of August, getting it ready to go so it's approved at that meeting. In terms of seeing the future budget or the current budget, I guess we could ask the current president and treasurer if the budget could be released. But I think for us going into if we're again fortunate to be elected, I think we'll be fully transparent, and so we'll have ways to share that with you guys. The the thing about getting people to donate money is you have to be transparent, and they have to understand how the money is being used, and they have to feel that the money is being used in a prudent way and correct way. So we definitely want to have that credibility with all the membership. So all we can do that is for you to kind of know how the money is being used and budgeted.
Yep. And Freddie, I see Raymond had responded, but I'll let Freddie respond on the panel. Does the board not bring the budget to the body for final approval? I'll let you answer that, Freddie. Did we lose Freddie Roberts?
You might have lost them, but
Oh, there he
yes.
is. You're on mute, Freddie.
Looks like he's trying to come up.
Okay. All right. The budget is approved by the board of directors. It doesn't go to the full body. If we had a convention, then the members who are attending the convention would be the ones to approve it. And in as much as we don't have a convention, then the board of directors will do it. And that is all of the chapter clubs and classes will vote on the budget in a board of directors meeting.
Thank you for that. And the very last question, and this will go to those that's currently serving on the board. So Freddie, then Eureka, then Roosevelt, then Erica. What is the relationship between the Prairie View National Alumni Association and Alumni Affairs?
Oh, right now, from my perspective, I see the relationship as touch and go. Because I have not seen direct relationship in terms of activities and coordination from what I've seen. One of the things that we have not done is that our bylaws says that a member of the alumni staff is part of our board to make presentations and what have you. I think with the new vice president that is in place, that's going to probably change where we will have a better relationship. I think, individuals may have relationships with alumni office, but from a perspective of the National Alumni Association and a direct relationship with the alumni office, I have not seen or heard the relationship that one is expected when it comes to the university.
All right, Erica, any perspective?
I do know that Phyllis was or is invited or have been invited to attend our board meeting. I do know that when called upon from Alumni Affairs, that the NAA does respond and assist as needed. So as far as the type of relationship, I think it is right now on a as needed basis and conversation.
Thank you. Eureka?
So I know previously, like she said, the Alumni Affairs Office. I know when Billy was in that role, he used to attend our meetings and provide a presentation or whatever. So I know the relationship was there when Billy was in that role. Since Miss Phyllis has been in that role, I don't know if I can recall that she's ever attended any of our regular meetings, but they were present at the convention in the Bahamas, and they had supported we worked through the alumni um, group alumni office they supported the Labor Day Classic the year that I led it. So we do reach out to them. They do support things. We have some collaboration things that we do, but I'm sure there's always room for improvement. So I don't know that it's a currently a working relationship, but we do, like Miss Erica said, as needed. It appears that it's on an as needed basis.
All righty. And Roosevelt.
Yeah, I mean, I think our relationship can be better. I think it will be better. I don't know. I don't know the background of the question, but what I do know is that I think the people we have here, we will set an expectation of what we want to do with the alumni affairs and the university. Like, we have to have a relationship. We're both trying to service alumni, right? So why would we work together to make the best experience for alumni? And if both of us don't have that goal, then that's going to be an issue, right? Because our only goal in this relationship is to make it better for alumni. We should not be make it better for alumni affairs, betterment of alumni. And so if we don't, if we keep that focus, I feel that when the board, we will behave correctly and make that happen. I also believe the university and alumni affairs will respond correctly and make that happen. I have faith that both sides, everybody wants to do what's best for the university or for alumni. And so I'm really excited about having a chance to work with alumni affairs. I think you'll see that quickly in the fall that we'll be doing things together. It would be nice, if our systems, like our data systems and their data systems, are very similar, so that we can share information back and forth, because we do have that as part of our affiliation agreement, and we can share information. So I think we plan to have a very, very strong relationship. And I've known Phyllis for a long time. She is a great Panther, wants to do what's best for the university. I don't know Jeff Shaw that well.
All right.
I
Thank
had
you,
30 seconds
Roosevelt.
before. I had 30 seconds I didn't use.
Thank you, Roosevelt. So
Yes,
at this
ma'am.
time, it's at 8:47. So we'll allow each candidate. Thank you for all of your questions, for those that's on this call, for all the candidates for attending, for participating. So at this time, we will start with Roosevelt with your last closing remarks. And again, this will be turned over to the election committee. So each candidate will be given 2 minutes to have their closing remarks. So if you want to use your closing remarks to finish your sentence, Roosevelt, please do.
No, I'm not gonna finish the sentence. I'm just gonna say, look, I am grateful to be a Panther. I'm grateful to have gone to Prairie View. It shouldn't have happened. I was gonna go to Southern or U of H. My mom's from Southern. All my family's from Baton Rouge. So I don't know how I became a Panther, except they sent me some money in the mail, and I decided to go. But that turned out to be the best decision of my life, right? Met my wife at Prairie View, have two daughters that go to Prairie View, have lots of close friends. If y'all know me and see me, y'all know who my close friends are. It's people that I've been with for years, from high school through Prairie View. So it means a lot to me. And what mean a lot doesn't mean that you should become president. But what it does mean is that I'm gonna give every effort to make our relationship, our alumni association better. And I'm always going to seek, like I said before, what's best for someone on the board, not what's best for a person, but what is best for the NAA and the university to make us better. And it's not about a house. It's not about an athletic stadium. It's about the spirit of Prairie View and really growing that. There's no reason we can't have 15,000 students and all of them have scholarships, right? Like that could be the great dream. But how do we start getting there where we're helping our students, we're helping our alumni, and we just unleash what is really pent up at Prairie View? That's where I want to be after 2 years. And so anyway, I think I'm getting close to 2 minutes, but that's who I am. That's why I'm running. No drama. It's about action and creating a better university, a better alumni experience.
2 minutes.
Right, and Miss Erica?
The 2 minutes part, that just tickles me. Thank you for keeping us on track. But again, if I'm given the opportunity to be elected as VP, all I will say is thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for, hopefully the opportunity to help rebuild this NAA, to strengthen the bond between the university and the NAA. Grow our membership, let the alumni know we're here, and we're here to be a voice for them, to be able to give scholarships to our deserving and struggling students that may need a help, to show them once they graduate, look what's great on the other side in the NAA. So if given this opportunity, I am just here to help build, to help strengthen, to grow our relationships, and to just let everyone know that we're here. Again, this is not about this is about unity. This is about a team, and this is about the alumni and what we're doing beyond our degrees for Prairie View that we also love. And thank you.
Thank you, Erica. And Yvonne, she's already gone for the day. So again, Yvonne Lewis is running for treasurer, and she's a member of the Johnson Space Center, class of 1996, major mathematics. Dale Robeson, the floor is yours.
Yes, I'm basically see this as one of the milestones of my life, which actually began it back when I was in high school, about to graduate, and I was looking across the table. There was a guy sitting there, came to my high school and offer and asked a few of us students would we be interested in going to Prairie View. So I was recruited to come to Prairie View. Little did I know anything about Prairie View, but it was the best decision I ever made because Prairie View has been a blessing in my life. Uh, I've Prairie View been like a family to me. So this just been my journey, like I say, of giving back to Prairie View, who has made a big difference in my life. I love Prairie View. Uh, One for Prairie View, I don't think I would be where I'm at. So again, I want to be part of this National Alumni Association. I want to be a positive team member. Uh, Prairie View doesn't, we as student and graduate can't survive, individually. So as an association, that's why the name says association. So I want to be part of this. I want to be uh, part of the team. I want to be part of the organization, as I have been in the past, being with the local Houston chapter, not just a member, but being involved in whether it be fundraising, scholarship luncheons, uh, working on, boots on the ground, roll up your sleeve and just work together as a group, as a chapter, as an association. So that's my mission, is to give back to Prairie View, and I want to continue that until I'm physically not able to do it no more. So anyway, that's my position. I'm looking forward to being a part of this association, working together as a team.
2 minutes.
And
All right.
that's conclude my spirit.
Thank you, Dale. Dr. Alicia?
Yes, thank you. I want to thank everyone in advance for your vote, not just for my position to serve as secretary, but also for your work, your collaboration, your partnership, and support in working with the NAA as a conduit to help improve and to help continue to support our great university of Prairie View A&M University. It is with such honor that I do participate and get to represent the university in various forms. And this is just another way to help bring us all together as an alumni to increase our engagement, increase our participation and support of the university as the president's vision is Journey to Eminence. Let us as an alumni body, as an organization, as Panthers working together to continue to help our great university move forward toward eminence and to be the great institution that we all know that she can be and has been to each of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Dr. Kizzy. Next, we have Pamela Baker Holmes, candidate for parliamentarian, member of the Prairie View National Alumni Association, Missouri City Chapter, class of 1996, major industrial education. Freddie Roberts.
Well, I want to say thanks for the support that we've received in the past, my being elected to parliamentarian, and I look forward to being re-elected to the position. I thank you for your vote. My engagement in Prairie View A&M University began in 1973, and if I should say so myself, I think Prairie View has grown on me to the extent that I came to this country with the intent to get my degree and go on and become a certified public accountant and a lawyer and become the governor of the Bank of the Bahamas. But by chance, being at Prairie View and having to work with some of the people who didn't think students deserved their attention, I became an advocate for students. And so I gave all my life to Prairie View in terms of helping young people grow and matriculate and grow at Prairie View and move on to better themselves away from the campus. One thing I would like to see change in Prairie View is that we go back and focus on some of the traditions that we had at the university. In addition to making sure that people understand that Prairie View cannot be like the other universities or HBCUs, and I hate to use that word, but that's what's in the culture right now. Other historically Black schools, our universities have been the parent for our young people. And right now, I don't see that there's students across the board having that affinity to the university. And so it's going to call on the alumni to be more visible on campus, participating in the activities with the students, volunteering, as some of you have mentioned, volunteering, coming back to the campus and meeting with the students. The fact that you are a member of organizations
2 minutes.
that helped you when you were at the university
Thank
says
you,
that you ought to
Mr.
come back to the
Roberts.
campus and help the students.
All
And so
right.
I look forward to working with the new administration and also to make sure that we maintain the relationship with the university, because you have to understand.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Okay.
Eureka.
Okay, so look, I was doing the math. So I've been Prairie View advocate since I was 9 years old. My father was the he was the advisor for the Upward Bounds program out of Lufkin, Texas, and he brought many students to Prairie View in his lifetime. to become students at Prairie View, and I attended their first HBCU college tour with the group of students that he had, and I was 9 years old. So since 9 years old, I've wanted to be a Prairie View alumni. And so I achieved my goal. My daughters have graduated from Prairie View. Our last niece, my parents had 6 grandchildren, and my last niece just graduated from Prairie View in May. So I used to say I bleed purple and gold until I met Tremira and some of the other ones that truly bleed purple and gold, but I still have some purple and gold in my blood. And so I desire to give back to the university, give back through the Alumni Association. I'm seeking a position as chaplain so that I can continue to remain on the board and offer my time, my talents, and my treasure, and to just be part of the team, the think tank, the people that are trying to create the bridge that our students need in order to, make use of those degrees that they achieve. It says Prairie View produces productive people, but you also have to have a bridge to be able to get into these doors, for the doors to open and for them to actually, get the opportunity to show what they've learned and the talent that they have as graduates of Prairie View. I was always I people make you feel like Prairie View is like you're inferior with a Prairie View degree. And when I stepped in my first role out at NASA and saw all those other people from Rice and U of H, and I was like,
minutes.
we blow them out the water. So no, I was never intimidated after I met all those people because we are well prepared. So sorry
Alrighty.
for running
Thank
over.
you. No, you're good. Thank you for that. And then last we have David Allen, who's the candidate for historian, member of the Prairie View Houston chapter, class of 1978, and business administration. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining on this call. For those that joined in late, on my screen, you can see the election committee, election voting option. This is the last for the nominations committee, and I want to thank everyone from the first meet the candidates to the first Q&A to the second Q&A. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for all of your questions. If you have not, if you are an active member of the National Alumni Association and you did not receive an email, I just put in the chat to email the National Alumni Association your information so that you are able to vote. You are able to cast your vote for these candidates. So again, I want to thank everyone for their time. And then again, I just want to stress that it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of work to hold these positions. And it was said, I think, on several of the other meetings, I don't remember if it was said on today, this is a volunteering position. And there's been so many thoughts, so many ideas, but it takes more than just these candidates that's on this line to make the Prairie View National Alumni Association and our Alumni Association strong. So if you're not active, I ask that you get active. If you're not part of a chapter, get with a chapter and just utilize all the resources that we have. We have over 3,000, I believe, in our databases, and I believe 8,500 in another database, but yet we have a select few. So again, thank you for your participation. Thank you for all that you do. Candidates, I wish you all the luck, all the best support that you need. And we are all PV proud. So I will end this call. The videos are available on YouTube. So for the first meeting as well as the second meeting are already on YouTube. And then just be on the lookout. Raymond Holly, thank you, Raymond, for all of your assistance. He will have the second YouTube so you can go back and hear all the different answers and responses from our candidates. Have a great evening, have a great night, and until next time.
Tamara,
Yes,
can I give one comment that was given from one of the last week's video?
absolutely.
Okay, this came from Gwen Barrett Jackson. She said she enjoyed listening to each candidate's response. I particularly found it interesting to hear how to increase alumni participation in fundraising activities. And there's to go on to say, other than the traditional activities, galas, merchandising, etc., what if the NAA could consider a different approach? They would love to hear from graduates, alumni, and a representative from each school within the university. Maybe do this on a weekly or monthly post where each school can have someone give information about them, and then also provide industry information to all PV graduates to show value on a different scale.
So that is some great information. So traditionally, a lot of and Eureka, she spoke about it for the conventions, and I know Freddie Roberts alluded to a lot of the conventions. During the National Alumni Association, you can receive a lot of information from those conventions. Yes, the last one was in the Bahamas, but they are typically every other year within the Houston area, Spring, the Woodlands. But you will find the president will always speak at the conventions, and both presidents, the last two presidents, Dr. Simmons and Dr. Lowe, very interpersonable, very engaging, and typically they will stay at the hotel for the entire time, not just for their segments. The athletic departments, the alumni affairs, there was not much talk on any of these calls with regards to the foundation, but even with the foundation, so a lot of that take place during the convention time. But I know at various points at the universities, they will have different times where people will speak. So my suggestion will be in lieu of with the transition of the new officers, because again, the election will take place in June, and I believe July is typically a hiatus month where there's nothing happening with the National Alumni Association. So in August, they will have the swearing in and transition. So roughly around after September, start going through the PVU National Alumni Association website. Look on the website to see what upcoming events are, but also go to the pvamu.edu website and have a lot of information on there where the signing day, many of us was at the signing day where it was very interpersonable, where you're able to meet the coaches. I know Luxury Goods have a storefront at the Northwest campus where they have merchandise, and people are always going through their stores to get information. So it takes some effort on our part to make sure that we stay engaged, but also on the national level, on the alumni level, we need to make sure that we're getting the information out by whatever means, whether email, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, that information is being transpired to the masses to receive that information. And so, Raymond, if you the person who sent that, if you can reply to them and just let them know, they can either send it to the nominations email address, or they can send it to the NAA, and someone will go and address the questions as well as provide some feedback.
Okay. And then for anyone that didn't make it to the Bahamas last year, all of those sessions are on our YouTube page. So if you want to go back and watch those, you can go to our YouTube page and see those sessions from the Bahamas Convention.
That is correct. So again, we have to put in a little effort, but we also have to make sure that the information is out there. So we're going to do better at getting the information out there. But I ask each of you to be a little more diligent in going out there and being engaged. Anything else? If not, we will close the session. Let me stop the recording so it will not do another 2 hours. Okay. Trying to stop the recording. There we go.